to the 13.7 milestone kickoff video of the configure stage. My name is Victor Nagy. I'm the product manager of this group, and here is Maria Vrachny with me, my product designer. Let's get started. I'm going to share my screen quickly. So what do we plan to ship this milestone? We have 3 goals. The first is to do various developments around maturing the agent. This primarily means to be able to provide the agent for GitLab.com users and all the required developments around that, and to provide the necessary features that we think are crucial for serious users to adopt the agent for their deployments. The second goal is to improve the management of Terraform states. Maria ran customer interviews in the past month, so we gathered some really useful feedback around that. And this is a feature set that we were planning for a long time to provide management interfaces around the GitLab managed Terraform states, and we want to move along this path in the current milestone. And the third goal is to improve Kubernetes compatibilities. We have been missing this for a few months now as we were focusing on other areas, and we are behind the Kubernetes release schedule, so to say, which means that we would like to add support to 1.17 in the 13.7 milestone, and probably support to be added to 1.18 and 1.19 in the following milestones. But let's get into details. A bit of more interesting things we have in our planning issue is actually the organization of the issue itself. We are starting it with the preparation work. This way, even engineers and others interested in what's coming next can easily find what is to be expected, and everybody is invited to provide feedback in these issues. Clearly, there are many more issues that we are working on continuously, but these are the biggest topics, some of those items that definitely need a lot of feedback and discussion. Getting into the issues that we want to deliver are the following. First of all is the enabling reactive caching limits in deploy board. It seems to be like a super technical issue, and in a sense it is. It's a long outstanding issue that we want to ship finally in order that we can close it down, and this might allow other groups as well to enable these reactive caching limits in their use cases. We were the first who wanted to try this out, and it seems to work pretty well. So actually it was already shipped, the feature, in the 13.6 milestone, and we are just looking into some feedback from that to ensure that everything works there. And after that, we are going to remove the feature flag altogether, and it's going to be working. The other issue that I definitely want to speak a bit more about is this supporting deployments with the agent from directories and even subdirectories. I think this is one of the most important features currently missing from the agent, because it allows, currently we only allow single manifest YAML file to be deployed with the agent, and the whole repository, there's only one manifest file, and every agent attached to that repository have to read that manifest file. With this issue, you can set up a structure like our operation team has today in their Terraform repositories, for example, where you have an environments directory that contains your production directory, and the environments directory contains a staging directory, etc. And these production staging directories contain your manifest files that might have actually multiple manifest files that describe the given environment, the given cluster. And this feature allows support for these setups that we expect to be the really user required setups. Another feature that we want to work on, but probably we might not be able to finish, is support for private manifest repositories, which is again very important, especially on GitLab.com. It will be very important. Today, we only support public manifest projects. It might be great for self-hosted GitLab instances, but definitely not for private manifest repositories. That is a stretch goal for the next milestone. Then I'm going to move on over to the Terraform state-related developments. Here we have one issue that that is definitely a high priority for us, is to introduce various actions around the Terraform state file. Currently, we have the state listing available, which provides information to all the users and might be useful, especially if a state file remains logged because we show that it's already logged, but doesn't add any value behind this yet, except that you see that you have all those state files in your project, but you can't do anything from it from the UI. You have to fall back to GraphQL or some other method to manage the state files. With the introduction of these actions, the users will be able to download the latest state file at first, lock or unlock a state file if it's already logged, and to remove a specific state file if you don't want to have it there, want to save some space, there are credentials leaked, or for whatever other reason. And the final issue I want to mention in this summary is moving features to core in the case of deploy boards. This is an issue that was dedicated to configure to make this movement still back in spring. And finally, we have a plan that seems to be pretty solid, and we intend to close it in 13.7. So these were the delivery part topics that I wanted to present here. And now I would like to ask Maria to speak about what we have in preparation.
So from the design perspective, there are four pieces, well, three actually pieces of design work. I'm going to start with the second, which is the agent details page.
Should I stop my screen recording?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So the first item I want to talk about is the cluster details page for a cluster managed by an agent. So essentially, this is the agent details page. So it's our first step towards introducing some visibility around the agent. So there are two items, a low fidelity exploration. So the first explorations, where we're going to define the scope and contents of this page and the vision. And following, we're going to have a high fidelity, which is going to be the MVC, so the first implementation. The main purpose of this page will be to surface information about the agent, its status, potentially its configuration, but also the manifest projects that it deploys. So this is scope for the agent, and then we have a follow-up issue for the manifest projects, which is linked to the agent details page. So we want to show the status of the manifest project, so whether they have been synced, whether there has been an error when the agent tried to sync them, etc. So we want to assist this link surfacing in the UI, this link between manifest, agent, and also the status. This could be on the agent side, but it could also be on the manifest project side. So this is to be discovered by the design explorations. And finally, going back to Terraform, for the first part of the state file design work, we introduced the listing and the versions for each Terraform state. So there is a missing piece of functionality and design to be able to show the comparison, so the diffs between two consecutive state files. So this would be the latest and its previous version, or the previous version and its previous version. This design is going to be probably quite similar to the MR code diffs. And we have gathered user requirements from our user interviews, so we have a clear direction about what users want. And is there anything else on the design side? That's all.
Not really. Yep. The other two issues you can see here don't require design. These are the technical explorations for Kubernetes 1.18 and 1.19 support. What Kubernetes APIs are deprecated there? What do we have to change in our current setups to support these?
Yep, I would like to bring up an issue about Kubernetes Vision. So the Kubernetes agent vision, we are starting to discuss that too as we're rolling out the agent. And defining what we're going to use the agent for. So it would be great if you're interested in the vision of the agent, if you could contribute. You can find the issue in the agent